Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about creating newsletters. It's something that small business owners tell me that they regularly find quite challenging, is to get the content and put together a newsletter in not very much time. And I know you're busy and you have a lot of things to do. I really appreciate that, because guess what, I'm in the same position. So I'm going to show you that it's really not that difficult to put together a quick newsletter, simple newsletter. And you know that I've spoken about this before. It's one call to action, very few images, and just talk about one thing, give people very few choices of what to do in your newsletter. So the next thing you're going to see is a screen capture of me putting together my newsletter. Okay, so here we are in my email marketing tool. I use Constant Contact, and I have templates set up. So I'm going to pick my weekly newsletter template. I'm going to copy it. There it goes. And the first thing it will ask me to do is to give the file, the newsletter, a new name. So because I've copied that, I need to give it a new name. So I'm going to tap in the name of this. And this week I'm going to be talking about the blog post that I wrote last week. So that's going to be my file name, and tomorrow's date is the 10th. So I always do this with my newsletters so I can find them easily, and I label them by the date that they are sent out. So that's saved. So whilst that's doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is write the main bit of the email, where I tell people what it is that I'm going to talk to them about. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tap in the words that I want to put into the email. So, does your business slow down for the summer? Do you struggle to make the most of the summer holidays? Or don't despair. Is a great time for you to work on your business and get yourself up ready for the busier autumn period. Not sure what you should be doing. Can't type. Read my latest blog post where I take you through 10 ways you can make summer count for your business. So that's my opening paragraph. I'm just going to have a little closing statement here. Which one of these 10 will you try? Hit the reply button and let me know. So that's the guts of my email done, and it's ready for just making look pretty. So what I'm going to do is insert the image. So I'm going to go here, click edit, and it's going to bring up this where I store all the images that go in my emails, but the image that I want isn't stored here. So I'm going to hit upload file, and I'm going to find the file that I'm going to use. Now, what I actually do for this is that I use the image that I created for the blog post in the first place. So what I'm doing is really using what I already have rather than creating from scratch. So I'm going to drag it over to this box and then hit upload file, and it will upload the file. And you can see there it's ready. So I'm going to click done, and then I'm just going to customize this. What I'm going to do is add this alt text. So this appears, the text appears if someone has is not able to download images, and there's just a blank box, and it basically, the text that you put in here gives people an idea of what's behind the picture. But what I'm going to do is put a call to action here. So click here to read my latest blog post. So now people know that they can click that link, and you can see it's a little bit small, so I'm going to make it a bit bigger. Last week, actually, what I did was I tried out a different layout for my email, and I put the image up here and then put the text below it. And what Constant Contact lets me do is see where people click the most, and people clicked on this header image the most. So I'm going to move that up there to encourage people to click. So now you can see that that's ready for adding some links. So I will go to my website and I will pick up the link for that blog. Just click on blog, and there it is. Now, the thing that I do is actually create a little campaign so that I know in Google Analytics, I know where my traffic is coming from. So I'm going to copy this link and stick it in here so you can see that, and you can see my campaign sources newsletter, and I'm going to change that to the 10th of July. And there you can see the full link. Fingers crossed that this works, because sometimes Google doesn't do this, it doesn't work. But I'm going to convert it to a short link. There we go. And then copy that link. And what I'm going to do is open this, click link, hit web page, and paste the link in there. So that image is linked to my blog post, but I want a couple of other links in here. So I'm going to, I'm going to click this, read my latest blog post. I'm going to make that a link. I just paste it in there and make it bold so it stands out, just in case people keep reading down, or they have read down but they want to click somewhere in the email. And obviously the read now button. So there you go, that's the guts of the email done. So you can see that that's ready to go. Just make sure that's linked. Yes, that is linked. So there you go. These buttons up here allow people to share my email on their social networks. These buttons down here let people follow me. I put the join my mailing list button down here, just in case someone forwards my newsletter to somebody that doesn't receive it. They've got a quick way within the newsletter to join it. Now, this is the important bit. So I'm going to think of a good subject line for this email. So let's say bogged down by the summer slowdown, question mark. Summer slowdown, 2 words, I think it is. Bogged down by the summer slowdown. Actually, I should put summer lull, shouldn't I? Because that's the title of my blog post. Bogged down by the summer lull. Open for productive tips to grow your business. I think that might be too long, but here's what we're going to do. So that is the guts of the email done. Now what I do is I hit preview and I send myself this email. There you go, the test email was sent, and what I'm going to do once it's come through into my into my inbox, is it going to come in? I'm just refreshing my email. Here we go. Right, so I'm going to bring this over here, and you can see there is my email. Now you can see open for productive tips to grow as cut off. So I need to look at that because that needs to be shorter. But here's my email, it looks great. I click on some of the links to make sure, I click on all the links to make sure it's going where it's supposed to go. And you can see the URL up here. It's picking up that campaign that I set so that in my Google Analytics, I'll be able to see that the traffic has come from this newsletter specifically. Again, that works, so that's good. That's link number 2. Link number 3 works. Yep, brilliant. So all I need to do now is to go in and just change this pre-header text. So what I might do is open for tips to grow your business. That looks a little bit shorter. So let's preview that again and see if that works. And go to the inbox, refresh. By the way, I also check these emails on my mobile phone, which I can't show you because I'm on screen capture here, but there you go. So you can see, bogged down by the summer lull, open for tips to grow your business. That's just about viewable. People will be able to see what that is. So I'm going to go with that subject line and that pre-header text. So now all I need to do is press continue. And I will go to my list. There we go, there's my list. Just check this down here, that's fine. I'm going to schedule it for later, so it's going out tomorrow, and it's going out at, send it at 7:40 a.m. That generally is a good time for my list to send. That all works, and then I'm going to hit schedule. And that essentially is how quickly I put together an email newsletter. And there you have it. It was as simple as that. So you saw me create my newsletter from start to finish. Really the main thing that I will tell you, the main tip that I will give you is that you need to know ahead of time what you want to write. Don't do your thinking whilst you're creating your newsletter, because that will slow you down, that will frustrate you, and it will make you think that you can't do it. And I know that you can. So know what you want to write and then set aside time to do it. Monday mornings, 10 o'clock is my time to sit down and put together my newsletter, not think about what goes in it. Put together my newsletter to go out on Tuesday mornings. So have your content ready, know what it is that you want to write in the body of the newsletter, and then have any text, have that text ready, and then have any images ready. So in the video I told you that I don't create a new image for my newsletter, I use the image that I created for the blog post, so that's always ready to go. So make sure that you have all those things ready and think about what you can reuse. Okay, don't forget to test your email before you send it or schedule it, because that's really important. It's an important time for you to make sure that the subject line works, that it's visible, as well as the pre-header text, as you saw me do, and also check that all the links in your email work, because you don't want to put in links and not have people be able to follow them. So I hope I've shown you that it's possible to do to create your newsletter in less than 30 minutes. In fact, you'll see that it took me, if you time me from the beginning to the end, it took me less than 15 minutes to create mine. So take those tips and make sure that you apply those to doing your newsletter, and I promise you it will be easy to create your newsletter and send one out regularly.